Are we okay back there? Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. This is our regular CRA meeting. Today is Monday, October 7, 2019. The meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk.
Board Member Desilme, Board Member Galvin, Board Member Estime Irvin,
Present.
Board Member Keys. Here. Chairman Bieneme.
Here.
Chairman, you now have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you very much. And now please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chairman, for the record, we do not have quorum at the moment. Chairman, we now have quorum.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you. Oh, she's bringing me one. I think she's bringing me one.
And now, can I hear a motion on the to approve the minute from September 10, 2019?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion made by Board Member Estime Irvin to approve the September 10th, 2019 minutes. The motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 3-0 vote.
Thank you. Before we move forward, Mr. City Manager, is there any addition, deletion to the agenda
Just
that
that,
you would like to move? Anything?
just that you consider reviewing agenda item 6 at the top of the agenda, sir.
Okay. Can I hear a motion to move item 6?
So move.
Carol?
Second.
I have a motion to move agenda item 6 to the top of the agenda made by Board Member Estime Irvin. The motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 3-0.
Thank you very much. Can you please read agenda item number 6, Madam Clerk?
A resolution of the chairman and board members of the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency approving the funding for Omega Investors Group LLC in an amount not to exceed $1,200,000 for a multifamily residential rehabilitation project known as Nomi Village, located at 12640 Northeast 12th Avenue, North Miami, Florida. Authorizing the executive director and North Miami CRA attorney to negotiate and finalize an agreement with Omega Investors Group LLC to provide funding for the development of the multifamily residential rehabilitation project in an amount not to exceed $1,200,000. Authorizing the chairman and executive director to execute the agreement, authorizing the executive director to take all action necessary to implement the terms of the agreement, and providing an effective date. Agenda item 6.
I have a question before we go any further. On the record, it was stated 1,200,000, and it's more than that. Does that make a difference?
It's 1,217,500.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
that's okay. That's
Thank you very much. Do we have any presentation?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mhm.
Briefly, Rasha Camo, CRA Director. Staff is requesting approval to negotiate and enter a grant agreement with Omega Investor Group for an amount not to exceed $1,217,500 for the purposes of rehabbing 48 units at 12640 Northeast 12th Avenue and 1195 Northeast 126th Street, formerly known as the Deluxe Court Apartments, the Barracks. Omega Investor Group is proposing to completely renovate the properties, which sit on 4 acres of land, by converting them from 2-bedroom, 1-baths to 2-bedroom, 2-baths. Renovation include, and not limited to, new impact windows, new roof, kitchen cabinets, flooring, adding a terrace for each unit, and upgrading the electrical to meet current code. Additionally, Omega will create the following amenities: a soccer field, volleyball court, recreation center, dog park, and a community garden. For your review and approval, Mr. Sebastian Semla, the managing partner of Omega Investor, will walk you through his presentation. They have proffered to maintain rents for the renovated units at 85% AMI, to make available 4 units at a deeply discounted rate of $1,200 for qualified low-income tenants recommended by the City of North Miami Housing Division, and to receive payments within 2 fiscal years. So $608,750 per year.
Chairman, for the record, Board Member Desilme is present as of 5:36 p.m.
Thank you very much. Can you proceed?
Yes, that would be helpful.
Proceed, thank you. Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the board, Mr. CRA Director and Deputy Director, thank you for giving me the time today to present our project. My name is Sebastian Semla, and I am the manager, one of the managers, as well as
Number
a
6.
shareholder for Omega Investors.
Move first.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. 2-minute background about me. I grew up here in Miami. I grew up in the area. I have a wife and 5 siblings. All went to school here in North Miami. And I decided a few years ago that I thought that North Miami is a great place to be. I recently moved my corporate offices here, so I am excited about what the future of North Miami can be. I'm excited to present this project for you guys today. About 18 months ago, we bought this property from Mrs. Hanono, which is a completely dilapidated property. We had 2 fires during our due diligence period before we purchased the property. We bought the property subject to a whole bunch of violations, which we've promised to cure within the time that we fix up this property. And our goal is to revive the area. This property sits right across from W.J. Bryan Elementary School. Currently, the property is in really poor shape. I have some good tenants. I have some tenants that are not so good. I've noticed some drug transactions happening across from the elementary school. So our goal here is to really go in there and revitalize the area as per your CRA agreement that was written between you and Miami-Dade County. And our goal is to really clean up the slum and blight. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the current condition of where it's at. Oh, thank you. Let's just scroll through. Yep. So the team is headed with myself. Again, I'm a commercial real estate broker, and I've been in real estate for over 25 years. My partner and friend, Sean Shemtov, who is a mortgage broker and in the financing, who I've known for over 20 years, and Juan Carlos Lago and JC Junior Lago, who are also involved in the multifamily business in Cutler Bay, and they are currently managing over 700 units. That makes up our team. We each handle and have our own responsibilities, and that's really how we find our efficiencies in what we do. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. So currently, this is the property. It's an entire city block. This is some of the pictures of what it looks like currently. This is one of the fire-damaged buildings, which is completely boarded up. And the other one, so this is really, this property has had no love for a long, long time. And our goal is really to revitalize this area and to bring a lot of great energy and good, really good product for the area, something that's really going to help to turn the area around. So the future of Nomi Village and what we hope it will look like with the help of the CRA. Well, this is a map, but it's really over here is what it is. So I'm going to kind of walk over here and kind of walk you through it. Hello? So currently, W.J. Bryan Elementary School sits here. We have these 12 buildings, and what we've done, the first thing, and we sat with most of your people in your building department as well as your zoning official. The first thing that we did is we wanted to create more of an atrium to bring a community together. So we took all the parking that is currently on the inside, and we've moved all the parking to the outside. We cover plenty the parking ratio. There'll be at least 2 spots per apartment, or at least 1 spot per bedroom. And so some of the things that we're doing is, so each building has 4 units. Each apartment is currently a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. And like we said, we're going to convert it to a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We are putting a soccer field over here. Like we mentioned, each unit is going to have approximately a 700 square foot outdoor terrace, which is going to be for each one of the units. A little area where they can put their chairs and their barbecues to them. As we kind of walking through here, we have these current, we have 3 of these current little houses that are currently for the washer and dryers. This first one over here is going to be a community dining hall. So if somebody's having a event that's too big to house inside the apartment, they'll be able to rent this for a nominal cleanup fee and have an area where they can, have a party for more people. Like I said, the soccer field over here. We are doing community gardens over here so that, each person will be able to have a plot to plant their own vegetables or whatever they choose to grow. We're going to do a community, we're going to do a fruit forest over here where we'll plant mango and avocado and banana trees. As you kind of come through here, we're doing a volleyball court. We're doing plenty of shade trees with barbecue area and hammocks underneath here. This little area over here is going to be the recreational area where we'll have an area for people to play chess and dominoes, and just another area for people to hang out. We're doing a doggy park, which is going to be over here. And then along with that, there's a sidewalk that goes around the entire property, which on our property of the sidewalk, we will have outdoor exercise facilities where people can do pull-up bars and places for sit-ups and that you would see in normal parks, which will be open to the public for anyone to go around and run and use the exercise facilities. And then we kind of given you, so our concept was, hey, look, we want to do something that's going to bring a community together, right? And hopefully, in a perfect world, what we'd love to see is, people to plant their vegetables, grab some fruits from the garden, all meet over here where people will be playing volleyball and they're barbecuing, and they will have, areas to kind of hang out, like I said, and play chess. And it's really about bringing a community together. And that's what our focus has been to help transform the area. I will show you. So you saw the current picture. This is the picture after we are done with the improvements. We want to do something that's really fun in terms of how we were painting these buildings and how we were labeling the addresses with the little brown area there, which would be each one of the personal terraces that would come with every apartment. This is kind of like the mood board, and it really depicts what we want to do, but we would like to have, little lights dangling from unit to unit and have the hammocks and do some outdoor community art on some of the buildings with the outdoor, potential boxing bag for people to exercise, and like I said, or pull-up bars or whatever stuff you would find in a common park. This is a mood board of the renderings of what the apartments will look like, but they'll be nice size units. They're about just shy of 1,000 square feet each, and they'll each be 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Oh, same picture. Oh, I was going backwards. Let's see. So we talked about the units. So it's we're going to have a total of 48 units, each 2-bedroom, 2-bath, almost 1,000 square feet. The rents are going to be approximately $1,650. We will be renting the community garden plots for $25 a month. Again, that's not to make money. It's so that there is a possession to the plot and somebody is going there to take care of it. If you give it to them for free, we don't think that they'll take care of it. We are going to be offering a valet garbage service for $8 a month. There'll be your typical costs for pest control and everything else. Each unit will have modern faux wood plank flooring. There'll be the fitness track with calisthenic equipment, the dog walk, and a little grooming area. The whole area will have 24-hour security camera monitoring, local fruit trees, all the stuff I already discussed. The new tax revenue to the city from what you are currently making to once this property is up to par and the tax has gone up, and this is the amount that goes to the city. So it will be a net of $565,000 over the life of the CRA. And I wanted to kind of correct something that Rasha said. On average, we will be about 85% of the AMI. That's the average, but we've agreed to give a certain amount of units to the city at the $1,200 range or 60% of the AMI. So we believe that on the average, that's where we'll end up. But being that we've made concessions to the city to give you guys 6 units, some of the other units will have to come up in pricing so that we can, still remain profitable and do what we need to do. Other than that, I've been managing this property for, like I said, 18 months. We've worked diligently to bring you guys a project that I think would be great for the city, great for the community. Like I said, I'm committed to the North Miami area. We've bought several other properties, and we want to help the city do great things and bring great creative projects. And we hope that you guys will support what we are proposing to you guys.
Thank you very much. Let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on the item.
Chairman, for
It's
the
item
record,
6.
for the record, Board Member Galvin is present as of 5:40 p.m.
Thank you very
Also,
much.
and I know that my consultant Andre wanted to say one word real quick.
Yes.
Just, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, Andre Pierre, not only a local resident, I own a boutique law office here in downtown North Miami. Basically, I'm here to speak to you about the community outreach, the efforts that we have put through in the city of North Miami regarding this project. To begin with, what we did, we took sample of the elections that took place in 2017. There was about 1,150 people that voted. So we took 20% of the 1,150 that voted. We went out and spoke to each and every single one of them and let them know about the project. And out of that 20%, which is about 220 voters, and basically all of them spoke in favor of the project, and they want the CRA to help fund rehabilitation of those properties. There was one person that objected to the project. I could say his name, but I spoke to him. My son, Andre Pierre, I think he was supposed to be. He also spoke to him. Dr. Medina, totally against the project. I'm not sure why. I spoke to all of his neighbors. They're all in favor of the project. In fact, a couple of his neighbors said, maybe you should add some, water. I forgot the way he called it. There was a name for it, but I'll get that for you. So, secondly, we went to W.J. Bryan. We spent 2 days there. We spoke to almost every parents that were going in, they're all in favor of the project, and they want the CRA to be part of it. Thirdly, we went over to the property. There's about 40 residents there. We found about 25 of them. We spoke to all 25. They're all in favor of the project. They all want this to happen. Even some of them, we mentioned about the 4 units that are committed to 1,200, which is exactly what
six. The bus said 6.
well, we went to 6, but initially we thought it was 4. But we did say 4, and all of them that are currently paying the $1,200, basically they said they want to be the first one to get first bite at the apple. I told them there's an application process. They should come to CRA to get it done. They also mentioned to me basically that they don't want to be displaced, and Sebastian and everybody on board saying that no one on that property is going to be displaced. Basically, we're gonna start with the fire unit first before we move forward. Lastly, we went to the other districts, District 1, District 3, District 4, spoke to the residents there. We didn't find anyone that was object to this project, object to the CRA help fund this unit. So far what we did, we collected 400 petitions from the registered voters in the area. We have one original and 5 copies.
Trees.
So 400 folks, the entire city of North Miami, but majority of them are from District 2, which, people that live in the area that want to see this project happen. So in closing, I just want to say 5 things about the project. 1, I think we all want to eliminate slum and blight, and I think this is the perfect project to do so. Secondly, this is a job creator for the city of North Miami, both permanent and temporary jobs that will be created. We know how much money the project will generate to the city. All the surrounding residents in the city of North Miami are very happy to see this project happen, because they think that one guy said, man, my property is going to be a pot of gold, because once this happened, this would, his property value would definitely go up. Sebastian and the group promised that Nomi Village would give preference to North Miami residents and businesses for this project. So again, thank you so much for allowing us to present this evening.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is now open on the item. It's item number 6. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is now closed.
Second.
And
Just question.
can
I'll withdraw my motion.
no.
President.
Can you keep your motion? Can you with an amendment? I would like to add the amendment to the project.
I'll withdraw my.
I'll withdraw my motion. I was trying to pop it
No,
along.
we're
That's
done.
my
It
job
just
up
add.
here.
It just make sure we add the language of 6 units instead of 4 units.
I'm sorry.
For-
I don't. Please
Yeah.
restate what the friendly amendment is, because I don't know what.
If you allow me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
After further discussion with the developer just before the meeting, they've agreed to add 2 more of the deeply subsidized units. So instead of 4, there'll be 6 units.
Yeah.
Can I change my second to a second with discussion?
Yes.
And then I
go
can have a question and
Go ahead.
council.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So we can keep this organized, I will again motion approval with the friendly amendment, 4 units to 6.
Okay.
I had spoken to the manager. We just want to make sure. I second
Yeah.
with the
Hmm.
amendment and discussion. So we're just speaking to the manager, just want to make sure this is authorization to go ahead and do a development agreement. And that development agreement will make provisions to make sure that we do keep the affordable housing units for the city in existence for the life of our CRA.
You're talking about the 6 units?
We want to make sure that they agree tonight to the 6 units. We want to make sure we're giving them the money, that something is recorded that runs with the property in case they sell it, that people maintain the affordability
Of the 6 units.
Yes.
and the 6 units.
Yes,
So,
that's right.
I'll let
Mr.
you-
Chairman, Board Member Keys. So typically, when we do a grant agreement, we do a couple of things, and we do record something initially, which is called the Memorandum of Grant Agreement. And that stays in place. It puts every person on notice that there is a grant agreement, that if the terms are breached, that there would be an obligation to repay. So they cannot then sell the property without the obligations of the grant agreement running with the property. What we do in cases like this, where we have an obligation to keep units affordable for a period of time, and my understanding is it's the life of the CRA, we would record a declaration of restrictions and covenants, which would have the restriction in there that these units have to be kept affordable for the life of the CRA. And if they're not, then obviously the obligation to repay the grant, that obligation would be based upon when the breach occurred, and it would be the unamortized portion of the grant, amortized on a straight line basis from the date of the grant to the end of the CRA. So that's how we would address these issues.
And that includes the units that are given to the city for?
That would be basically with respect to the units given to the
Okay.
to the CRA.
Thank
We
you.
could also have other provisions about, sticking to the site plan that's been approved, and also, that they have to develop within a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So there would be sort of like
So
a
you'll be
development
working on the
agreement.
agreement? just
Yes,
so-
of course.
That's all. Thank
Does
you.
that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Other question?
Oh, yes. This question is for, I guess, Mr. The manager. What's the amount again? Is it 1.2?
1.2, 117.5.
Would that be the highest that we've done so far?
Yes.
And is it one lump sum, or is it the same as the Moise thing
Yeah,
that we
we
did?
discussed doing it over 2 fiscal years.
Okay, so it'd be
That's
half.
Half this fiscal year and half next.
Okay, the other questions, in reference to the community outreach plan that we had for the city, does that add with the CRA, or it doesn't?
Oh,
The
from a
community
procurement-
benefit, yeah, from
from a
procurement.
procurement standpoint. Actually, I guess based on state legislation, any money that we provide would
Possibly.
possibly fall under the same thing.
Okay, I would ask that we just make sure that
We do some community-
we follow, yeah, that would be
Okay.
very beneficial, to me. I think it's important, something that we do. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just want to say, we had this motion so quick. I just want to say thank you. To me, this is just one of the best uses of our CRA funds to eliminate slum and blight in this district. These apartments really, really need it. They are just causing such problems. I've been in other ones where roofs have fallen in and it so badly needs it. I know your neighbors are happy. You're not going on a high-rise anytime soon, so I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to call the question.
Yes.
No, ready to vote?
Yeah?
I'm calling the question.
No question? Oh,
No.
no questions? Okay. Go ahead, Clerk.
I have a motion made by Board Member Galvin to approve Agenda Item 6 with a friendly amendment. The motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much.
Agenda Item 1, Business Attraction Grant Request, Golden Brew Cafe, 12009 Northwest 7th Avenue. Agenda Item 1.
Thank you. Please find attached a business attraction grant request from Golden Brew LLC, located at 12009 Northwest 7th Avenue. Golden Brew LLC is a vegan cafe that will serve an assortment of teas, nutritional smoothies, health-conscious food, and can I say again, vegan and vegetarian for the board member here, and some of our staff members I know are excited about that. The scope of work includes interior renovation, painting, remodeling, light fixtures, security installation, exterior paint, lighting, and landscaping. There are no violations on the property. The total cost of the project is $217,381.29. Staff recommends approval of $108,690.65, which represents 50% of the total cost of project. This will rehab an existing commercial space that was left vacant for a while. The owner, Nilka Martinez, is here in the audience if you have any questions.
Mr. Chairman, through you, or
Yes.
is the owner making a presentation, or can?
No, no.
If you have any questions.
I wouldn't-
Question.
Okay. you go.
Question for staff.
Mhm.
What was here?
It was an empty for a while, and then it was a retail store. It's next to, it's east of Northwest 7th Avenue, and it's next to like a Windows shopping center.
So it's a strip
Yeah,
plaza?
it's a retail strip.
But it's just gonna be one business now, or is it gonna be
No, no,
one?
it's gonna be a restaurant, and they're still gonna have the window business next to it. Yes, sir.
If I note the correct strip,
Mhm.
I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. I think you had mentioned it to me, or somebody did, but
Yes, I did.
no. Wouldn't, or have staff done this in regards to the parking? Because I know right next to the window is I guess a tire, a mechanic shop. So where would the parking be, for this?
They have, if I'm not mistaken, they have parking in the back for it.
In the back?
Yes.
Okay, there's
For it.
parking?
Yes.
Okay.
So even though this is not in my district, I'm so excited. I could not say something that we have a vegan spot, so I'm very excited that you're bringing that, or just restaurant that we're bringing. You know, next time consider West 60 Corridor. Just joking, but thank you.
And last question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have somewhere, oh, this is your first business, do you have another location?
And no, but my sister been owning business for the past 20-something years, and I'm always working with her now.
Oh,
She
okay.
has a food truck, and I work with her, so I'm
Okay.
always, and I owned a supermarket with her like in 2009.
Okay.
So
Move approval?
Second?
No, can we open it to the public? Public hearing is open on the item. Item 1. Public hearing is now closed.
Move approval?
Second.
I have a motion made by Board Member Keys to approve Agenda Item 1. The motion was seconded by Board Member Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
thank you.
Agenda Item 2, Rehabilitation Grant, 17th Avenue Plaza, 12603 Northwest 17th Avenue.
Again, good evening. This is a rehab grant request from 17th Avenue LLC located at 12603 Northwest 17th Avenue. This is actually the only commercial plaza on Northwest 17th Avenue close to Sunkist Grove. It's a 10,000 square foot retail space. He has a wing shop in there, a barber shop, a laundromat. This is the property owner himself, Mr. Milton Rajman. He'd like to renovate the property to attract additional businesses and make the property more amenable and aesthetically pleasing for the residents. The work is new impact windows and doors, awning, security, installation, paint, lights, fixtures, and landscaping. There are no violations on the property. They've all been satisfied. The total cost of the project is $291,920. Staff recommends approval of $100,000, which is the maximum you can get for a rehab grant. This will improve the aesthetics of the property and for the residents and attract additional businesses. Mr. Milton Rajman is here in case you have any questions.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you very much. Public hearing is now open on the item. Public hearing is now closed. Do you have any questions here?
Yeah. Hey, Milton.
How are you?
Good. Question, Rasha. So he had invited me a couple months ago, and I went over there with one of my staff, Rosa, to it's badly needed, and I'm kind of glad this is coming around. There's a couple of stores that looks horrible. The total cost of the project is how much? The
$291,920.
So why is it only the 100? Is that the
Because
grant
for a
type?
rehabilitation grant, it's up to $100,000.
Okay.
If it's a business attraction grant, it's up to $150,000. So,
Okay.
and he's the property owner. So as he's bringing in new businesses, they can apply for the
For separate.
150, and so on, and we've had that discussion already. So he's preparing the exterior part,
Mm-hmm.
which is, you know, his responsibility, I should say, and to prepare for new businesses to come in, they could get the business attraction grant.
Perfect. Milton, are you gonna paint also?
We're going to paint, yes. I just want to make one clarification. The 291 is for Phase 1 and Phase 2. I was hoping for 50% of the money, around 150,000. So that's not possible. So what I'm committing to do Phase 1 right away, and I'm going to try to get my tenants to get the grants as store owners, as businesses, and use some of that money to cover some of the other things, so I could do the Phase 2 as well. That's my goal. The Phase 1's about 200,000. The Phase 1's about 200,000. The Phase 2 is about 100,000, plus or minus. So I'm going to do my best to try to accomplish Phase 2 as well as Phase 1.
Good.
Any other question?
Does that include parking?
Phase,
The parking lot, right? Will that be also?
yes, I'm going to
Okay.
restripe the parking lot and do ADA,
Requirements.
Okay.
make the parking lot ADA compliant. And Phase 2 does include adding additional parking and additional drainage. But that will depend on if I can get my tenants to get the grants, and if I can use some of that money for some of the facade stuff, and then allocate some of this other money towards the Phase 2 to add parking and a trellis area.
The parking includes the front and the back?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure of that.
What about the side? Because
Right, the side as
that's
well.
where it's worse. Like when you're coming off 17th Avenue, are you, would you have enough to do that?
No, well, I have parking on the south side of the plaza.
Mm-hmm, on
the
124th,
On
130th. Oh, no,
On
no,
126th. Right.
By the church.
Across the street from the church, I have parking on that side, I have parking in the rear, I have parking in the front. The only place I don't have parking is on the north side,
That's
Oh,
the worst
Right, so
one.
what's,
and that was Phase 2,
Oh,
okay.
no.
because I mean, I'd like to get more parking and make it look nicer and landscape that area as well, but I think the facade is more important. Getting the property looking nice, getting hurricane impact windows and doors. There's no two doors in that whole plaza which are the same. Every window is different, every door is different, most of them are boarded up.
But
So-
if you go by the property, the parking lot off 17th, it's like a dirt road with pot. The pictures are in there, and it's not looking good at all. So I was hoping that would have been part of something. But you saying that would be space?
That's Phase 2.
That's the back. Trying to see which one that the. Yeah, I don't think they have that.
Councilman,
Yes, sir.
if it is your pleasure and pleasure of the board, we can actually amend it, approve it with the waiver, and provide
Okay.
some additional funding.
Please.
I would ask the board, please. Yes,
Yeah,
I would support that.
and I would second that.
So would I.
So
But he
I
said
would
the second
recommend-
phase is
but
gonna
however-
come with the tenant. But you gotta give some credit to the tenant. With the tenant application, it
Yeah.
would be better.
But would he be
The
able to
tenant
use the
gets,
tenant?
that's what he
Yes.
just said.
Yeah, what I would recommend is that you go ahead and move it to the 150. That way we can address all of the
All of
parking
it.
issues.
Exactly, and the landscaping
Yeah,
and
but at that
and
point, the
parking.
tenant not gonna be able to come and
You'll
get
get
some
the
money
less.
to do something.
Well,
If we wanna have the tenant and the owner, it's better to do the phase one. The phase two gonna include the tenant and the landlord.
I don't know, I'm more concerned about the attraction of fixing it up as soon as possible so that we can attract
The
the
tenant.
correct
'Cause
tenant.
they don't have no
and
parking, that's the problem.
Yeah,
I know where
that's-
it is.
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand that if you spend all the money on it and then the tenant, you wanna help them too.
well,
Go ahead.
if you want, sir, like, if we,
I don't-
to allay your concern, if we do the modification, what we could do as they come in, we can do maybe a prorated,
Evacuate them.
well, a
evaluate them.
prorated credit against what their grant amount would be
Okay,
for the
that-
build-out
okay.
associated with this just this portion of it.
Okay.
With the
With kind of-
tenant.
With the tenant.
Okay.
That's good. You made a motion, right? Oh.
Actually, you made a motion, I seconded it.
Hmm?
No, I didn't make one.
Okay, so I'll make
Can
a
I hear
motion.
motion? Okay.
Good.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve this with the additional funds and with all of the
What
other
addition you gotta
caveats.
set it, how much?
What is the amount that I, 50,000 more?
150.
Second.
Yeah, so 150,000. And with all of the other caveat that comes with it.
Thank you.
I have a motion made by Board Member Estimate Irvin to approve Agenda Item 2. The motion was seconded by Board Member Desilme. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Agenda Item 3, a resolution of the Chair and Board members of the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency authorizing the Executive Director and North Miami CRA Attorney to negotiate and finalize an agreement with Sinalovsky Romanik Saye, LLC, to provide professional design services to provide concept designs and imagery for 3 entryway structures for the Chinatown Cultural Arts and Innovation District for a contract amount not to exceed $48,760. Authorizing the chairman and executive director to execute the agreement, authorizing the executive director to take all action necessary to implement the terms of the agreement, and providing an effective date. Agenda Item 3.
All right, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director, City of North Miami. The item that you have before you is staff's recommended approval of a contract with the architectural firm Similovsky Romanik Say, LLC, to provide the CRA with concept designs and imagery for 3 entryway structures which shall serve as the gateway for the Chinatown Cultural Arts and Innovation District. As reflected in the report that's submitted in support of this item, in order to develop and incorporate these entryway features at 3 intersections for the district, staff requested a proposal from Sinilovsky to prepare the imagery and design of these features on behalf of the CRA. The proposed locations for these 3 entryway features are to the north at Northwest 7th Avenue and 135th Street, to the south at Northwest 7th Avenue and 119th Street, and also to provide for east-west entrance at 125th Street. Sinalowski is one of the firms that was approved on the pool of pre-qualified CCNA consulting firms by the city. Their proposal includes the preparation of site-specific surveys at these 3 locations, development of site plans, a building program, as well as an estimate of the probable cost for the actual construction of these 3 gateway structures. With me tonight in support of the item is Ms. Meryl Romanik, and she is a principal with the firm in the event that you have any questions from her. And that pretty much concludes my presentation, and if you have any questions, I'll also be glad to take them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Public hearing is open on the item. Public hearing is now closed. On the dais.
Mr. Mayor, quick question. Staff, how long would it be until they, that we see something as far as the rendering or?
Well, this is the initial step, which is the design,
Yes,
but
the design.
Good evening, Meryl Romanik from Sinilovsky Romanik Saye. Basically, with tonight's approval, we can begin the process. We need to get the survey work done, which has a lead time, so that we have accurate information related to the sites that we've gonna have a piece of the pie. Also, any easements, any FP&L things, those kind of things. So while that is occurring, I'm going to try to set up meetings with FDOT, because obviously we've got to be good partners in generating these elements that really announce Chinatown, but make sure that they're within the realm of workability for FDOT and the right-of-way projects. So I think from start to finish, we're probably, by the time we have the renderings, probably a good 3-month process, because we have homework to do with different engineers, different people to make sure that they not only look great, but they can be built, and make sure that they're viable solutions, and obviously want to come before you all with imagery to make sure that you're comfortable with the direction we're heading. So I think it's going to be a stepped process of, once we learn a little bit more about each of our sites, then that's going to dictate what we can and can't do. And then from there, we'll start meeting with you and kind of layer the process. So I think it's going to be a little bit, but we're going to work together on this one and make sure we get you guys something that you're really happy with.
Thank you.
No other question?
Yeah, I have a question. These plans, are these going to be engineering plans that someone will be able to?
No, these are design concept
just-
imagery, but we will be consulting with the structural engineer and electrical engineer, because I'm assuming there may be some lighting to them. We'll be consulting with, again, traffic engineering, just to make sure. So we've got team members are going to be part of our decision-making process as we're rendering the designs, but they are not construction documents for it. Once it's been approved and everybody's happy with the image, then we'll go through the next step of creating construction drawings for
Are
them.
you the person doing the construction drawings, or is that another bid?
We would like to, but we're not certain that
So
will be us. That would-
These drawings, as I understand, these will be going over 7th Avenue, correct? So they'll be pretty large.
That's the goal. We would like to create some sort of really iconic gesture that really announces your arrival to Chinatown. And we're trying to pick the major entrance points, which is obviously 119th and 135th at the north end and the south end, but also kind of the side entrance, which is the 125th coming off of the highway and honestly through the whole city.
So what you're drawing will be, when an architect, an engineer is ready to draw the actual plans, they'll be able to comply with your drawings?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
No other questions? Can I hear a motion on the item?
So move.
Second?
I have a motion made by Board Member Desilme to approve Agenda Item 3. The motion was seconded by Board Member Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Agenda Item 4, a resolution of the Chair and Board members of the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency authorizing the Executive Director and North Miami CRA Attorney to negotiate and finalize an agreement with Sinalovsky Romanik Saye LLC to provide professional design services for the creation of design guidelines for the Chinatown Cultural Arts and Innovation District for a contract amount not to exceed $66,060, authorizing the chairman and executive director to execute the agreement, authorizing the executive director to take all action necessary to implement the terms of the agreement, and providing an effective date.
Once again, for the record, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you is sort of a companion item to the previous one and represents staff's request for your approval of a separate contract with Sinalowski to assist the CRA in the development of design guidelines for the Chinatown Cultural Arts and Innovation District for a total fee not to exceed $66,060. As reflected in the report that was submitted in support of the item, the city intends to develop design guidelines for the district, which will help to create a recognizable theme and that will promote economic growth and inspire innovation within this district. The approved guidelines will serve as a blueprint for future development within both the public and private sectors of this mixed-use zoned district and will establish criteria for design and development within the district. As part of their proposal, Sinalowski will work not only with CRA and city staff to develop an outreach strategy within the district, as well as collaborating with Florida International University to promote a design competition for this district. Here with me in support of this item and to elaborate a little bit further on the work that will be expected from Sinalowski is Ms. Tanya Wilson, the Director of the city's Community Planning and Development Office.
She work for them now? Jeez.
Good evening, Tanya Wilson with Community Planning and Development Department, city staff. Just here in support of the item, understanding that as development progresses and we have both private sector development being submitted as well as capital projects, this guideline will serve as a blueprint for us to help with both the public and private realm. So we think it's definitely crucial to creating a brand and a certain image for Chinatown itself. So we're asking for support of this item tonight.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is open on the item. Public hearing is now closed. Member of the board.
Move approval.
Second. Which item is that?
I have a motion made by
Four. Okay, sorry.
I have a motion made by Board Member Galvin to approve Agenda Item 4. The motion was seconded by Board Member Desilme. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, I asked, something came up on item 5, so I'm asked that it be withdrawn at this time, and we'll bring it back at the next meeting.
Okay. That was the most interesting part of the
What is it?
housing for
Oh, this is
we
the
will get it.
housing.
seniors.
We will get it back before you. There was a slight issue with the sources and uses, so we needed to clarify it before we brought it back.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Do we have any reports?
A motion, we'll need a motion to defer.
Move to continue to the next item.
Second.
Excuse me, next meeting, item 5.
Second.
Okay.
oh, that was.
All right. I have a motion made by Board Member Galvin to move to table the item until the next CRA meeting. With respect to Agenda Item 5, the motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes with a 5-0 vote. All right, Agenda Item 7, CRA Committee Appointments. On behalf of the City Clerk's Office, I am Vanessa Joseph. And just as a reminder, I'm going to read off the appointee requirements with respect to appointments made to the CRA. Each CRA board member's appointee will be one appointee as a North Miami resident and one appointee as a business person or professional with offices in the city of North Miami. At-large appointees may be a North Miami resident, business person, or professional with offices in North Miami. CRA board members will designate one appointed member to serve a 1-year term and the other to serve a 2-year term. So that means each member of the CRA board will nominate 2 individuals. There will be 2 at-large, subject to the approval of the majority of the CRA board. With respect to board member Keys appointments, those are all current. Both of those are current. And for everyone else, there are expirations or vacancies.
What are board member Keys appointees? Who are they?
Claudio Sanchez, a resident for 2 years, for a 2-year term. And Holly Cohen as a
Okay.
business with a 1-year term.
Okay, it's not the people that I was thinking. Okay. And they have to be a resident and a business owner?
One must be a North Miami resident, and one must be a business person or professional with offices in the city of North Miami.
Okay.
You
That
can
part.
be at large. Can be
At
a
the at-large,
business.
maybe a North Miami resident, business person, or professional with
Okay.
offices in North Miami.
I'm only asking because the business person that I know, she has a business, but I don't know if she operate out of an office. If she has like on Sundays, she has a business. Does that count, or she
So-
has to have an office?
It would have to be a business registered in North Miami.
No, she is registered in North Miami, but I don't think she has an office. I don't know if it's a home office. I don't know. Can you check for me? If I give you
I want to clarify.
Ana Cobo. That's Blanca's daughter. Yeah.
I just want to clarify. So
Oh
they
no.
have
She is. I thought she was off.
Can we finish with one person, then we get to the other one? Are you done?
Yes, I'm
Councilman?
done.
Okay, yes.
Sorry.
Councilman.
the person has to have a business or just be a professional? I think I heard you say that. Is that correct?
One of the appointees must be a business person or professional with offices in the city of North Miami.
You're talking about the at-large?
Either or.
Either or, okay.
Either or.
You get one resident, one business.
Yes.
Per person.
No, but-
And then there's at
Is the
large.
business.
So-
The business has to be like Clark
In the
Reynolds
city.
is mine. Clark
Has-
doesn't live in the city. He has a business in the city.
I'm saying if the person has a home business, that don't count?
I don't know about that.
Well,
No,
it's a
business
home
is a
business.
business.
As
A
long
business
as-
is a
As long as
business.
they have an occupational
Yeah.
license.
In the city.
Yes.
But, oh, okay, because I don't know if all businesses require to have an occupational license.
Yes, they do.
They do, even if it's a home business?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And if they don't, they need to get one.
I know.
Don't put anybody's name out there.
I think they talking to
Okay.
me.
Okay.
But
Counsel-
I'm sorry, Chairman,
Yeah,
the
go
person with the business could also be a resident.
No, no, we
They don't
know.
have to be a
They have to be,
non-resident.
okay.
They just have to have a business.
Oh, I didn't know consulting neither.
Council,
Mr. Chairman?
council, yes.
I'd like to renominate my two current nominees, Clark Reynolds and Michael McDermott.
For how many years each? One for 2 years. They're staggered.
Mike McDermott
Can you
for 1
use the
year,
mic?
Clark Reynolds for 2 years.
I'm
Councilor
So I have
Man-
a,
No, I have a nominee, but I just have to clarify that they're actually a business owner, so I will not be nominating someone.
You don't
tonight.
have anybody now.
No.
We need quorum for the next meeting. It's two people. One got to be a resident and the other one
I'm sorry, I
can
don't
be a
have
homeowner.
one. I don't
Okay,
have one to nominate.
Thank you very much. Can I reappoint Emmanuel Gentil on the board, please?
so right now it just lists a vacancy, so I'm not sure. Was he on the board previously? I just want to confirm.
That's what I said. Yeah, reappoint him.
Okay.
Emmanuel
So for
Gentil.
1 year or 2 years?
2 years. Hmm? On Monday. Or you have your... Okay, can you add Lumana Joseph for 1 year? That's 2. They're both residents, and Lumana is residents and business owner. Okay. Do you have any?
Board member Deselme, do you have anybody?
Yeah, actually, I do. Let me, the resident is,
If the
Blanca
person, if
Cobo?
the person is not wasn't there before, you know, we're gonna
Yeah.
need an application.
Oh, they have to have it in?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll get,
If
I'll
the
get
person
person's
was there,
application.
they don't need application.
So I only have one, Blanca Cobo, as the resident.
And
because
for
she's-
how many years?
How many years, is 2 and 1?
Yeah.
Let me give her the 2, and then the business person will be a year. And so I should have the applicant apply, the people I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Send them the application.
Okay, Marilu Bentilis, or Manuel, I'll give you the information. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to confirm, Board Member Estime Irvin, you do not have any appointments for tonight, for this evening?
That's correct.
Okay.
Do you have quorum, right?
At large?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Carol Geimer wants to be at-large resident if there's.
Yes.
a
Huh?
nomination.
Can I
Yeah.
make a motion for Carol Geimer?
To be at-large resident.
Did that get us a call?
For the at-large nominations, we would have to have a vote.
Second.
Who moved it? I'll move it if you second it.
Oh, Board Member Deselme just moved
okay.
it. I have a motion made by Board Member Deselme to appoint Carol Geimer as one of the at-large appointments to the CRA board, CRA Advisory Committee, excuse me. The motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Are we all set for the appointments? Yes? No. You have quorum now, right? Okay, thank you very much. Do you have any report from the attorney?
No report
No reports.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?